safe, mad safe. I like that.
He thought about it for a moment.
You like, let me say, if I say, nah, it's gonna be a problem. Lie. and you Paul, you was like, lie, no.
That was a classic.
That was a classic. Mashallah.
See, he got out of that.
Yeah, I would have been like,
I bet he didn't do his homework. See,
there's some immense in them. You know, I'd have been like, nah, yeah, I know how to conjugate a verb. Well, form 3, Ali.
Because if he would said that, I was like, what's your excuse then?
I was trying to go through the books to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the assignment was, so it was kind of complicated.
So, yo,
Ignorance upon ignorance.
that's why y'all was laughing at me yesterday? Ignorine. Ignorine. Ignorine or ignore. No, ignore. Ignorant. Yeah, ignorine or ignorine. Ignorant.
I see your days of Kapowaski are still with you.
Kapowaski?
Yeah.
Who's Kapowaski?
How you first learned how to conjugate a verb based on Kapowaski, the Jew. I mean, it's a good book. It's a good
Yeah, that's how I learned how to put the
that's
singular
like,
door.
I can see it's still with you. We don't use that system, though.
Oh.
What is the Kapowaski?
Don't worry about it. Then if you don't use it, if you don't use it,
it's just the order.
The order that I do it in.
The order isn't based on like Kabbalah, he do first person and all. You know.
Remember the time I was in the class and he was getting on me about that.
I wasn't sure what the story.
He showed me the form, but I forgot the form you did it. Was it third person, second, then first?
Yeah.
And I do it the opposite way: first, second, third. And so.
Kabbalah's the only person who does that.
Oh, so you can turn it upside down, and I think it'll be.
It wouldn't read right.
Yes, it will. It's read from left to right to left.
All right. Okay. We want to do a couple of things this morning. I want to definitely go over this here, the assignment, so that way we're all on the same page with how to conjugate a verb. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to actually go over it. We want to try to do something with some ayats from the Quran this morning and hadith. As I mentioned, next week will be the beginning of the month, so we're going to start back, inshallah, with Dr. Abdur-Rahman's book. We're going to try to push, we're going to go through that as quickly as possible. When I say that, means during the week you have to make the preparation for that. And that, I don't know if everybody should have gotten an email from me that, and giving you an invite to Dropbox. Mm-hmm. Everybody get that? You should, link up with that, so that way it'd be easy to share files now.
I don't understand.
You can either do Dropbox or Google Drive.
Yeah.
Like, you can share documents with that as well, make folders in that as well. But yeah, Dropbox is pretty easy.
Yeah, it's really straightforward too, And then like you said, even with Google, but everybody see the advantage with Dropbox is that you don't need to have a all you gotta do is have. But with Google, everybody need to have a Gmail account.
That's true.
Oh, so you're Abdul Wali?
Yes.
Oh, I was like, who's this guy, man? I'm like, he ain't trying to set me up.
Yeah, it came from my Yahoo, I think.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. Kwame, you're gonna have to show me how to use the Dropbox because I have it, but I don't know how to use it.
It's straightforward. It's just like a file system on your computer. You got your files there, you got folders there.
And then so like you can instruct when you want to save a file, put it in Dropbox, and then you can click share, and then whoever you want to share to, then you just put their email address, who you want it to go to.
Oh wow, okay.
So in other words, what it eliminates. You know how before, if you want to share a file, you had to attach it when you email. It eliminates that.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
Which is a big advantage.
Yeah. It's everywhere. You go on your phone.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So do we just look up Google Dropbox and nothing?
It's not
just not Google. It's just
I thought Dropbox was on iPhones.
Okay, I'll resend it.
It's one of the universal.
It's on anything. It's an app. It goes on. Once you do it, you can go on. Like I have it on my desktop, my laptop, and my phone.
Yeah,
she got it on her iPhone. It's all over.
It's like an iCloud almost.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is. Exactly.
So it's their thing. Dropbox. And you just pay for our money. They give you like what, 2 gigs?
So much free, right?
Yeah.
So much free. Then you can pay for more storage space.
But there's ways to get more free without even paying for it. Like you can invite friends. You can to like it or whatever.
Okay. All right. So like I said, you know, I sent the link to Dropbox before I sent the email letting you know that I was doing it, you know.
Okay.
So you should have gotten 2 emails, you know, one for,
Okay,
Okay.
I got one, because I was looking for the link.
okay, all right,
Yeah,
then I'll
I was
resend it
looking for
then.
another email.
Because I guess there's a link to actually
Yeah,
connect us to.
I'll resend it then, inshallah, then, okay, I'll resend it then. All right, okay, let's, if everybody, let's,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Just on that, it was a past tense.
yeah, we're gonna go over it, what the assignment was. I said, I wanna do something with Quran first thing this morning, you know, not, gonna- you know, hopefully, you know, it's a few items, so we can all get us a mushaf. Okay, because we wanna,
I get, you get 2 for you, or you need one, sister?
Yes,
This one, just 2. Yeah, I know you want the big one, Kwame.
she has one.
you go. There's another bedroom, so I can use this one. I mean,
You want, I don't care if I'm at them. You know,
place over it like this.
subhanallah.
Let me see if it
oh, I
lasts.
didn't say that.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hey, sound like
What?
I thought it was a lot less than what I was thinking.
All that jazz. What did it happen?
I got.
Show me.
I got
He thought we just had to do this. He thought we had to do
Dude, I didn't
this.
really go home with
He got all of that. Yeah.
All right, for the mushaf, we're gonna go to page, the bottom on page, 23, Thalatha wa Ishreen. Right, Thalatha wa Ishreen.
He go over.
23, Thalatha wa Ishreen.
the
Thalathatun wa Ishreen. So, right, it's right, 20, right, 23. Thalatha wa Ishreen. Anytime we do a compound number, right, we say that we use the unit of 1 first, followed by the unit of 10. So, Thalatha wa
Back.
3 and 20. I'm using Ishreen because I make it in Majrur. Go to page or turn on page, but it literally, technically, it's really Thalatha wa Ishrun,
Okay.
right? It's really Thalatha wa Ishrun, right? But for I'rab, we make it Ishreen, we make it Majrur,
This language is amazing.
right? I mean, could just say, turn the page, Thalatha wa Ishrun, but to try to be more grammatically correct, it's better to say Thalatha wa Ishreen. Okay? Okay? Everybody have it? Okay. And we're going to go to ayat. Okay? Now listen, we're going to go to ayat. I'm going to say it in Arabic first. Ayat. Ithnan wa khamseen wa miya. Here. We said Ithnan. So that's the unit of 1. That's the first number. Ithnan wa khamseen. Right? So we know we already at 50 something. Well, Mia mean 100. Right? You see it? On the bottom. Right? It's the last 2 eyes, so that the eye before the end. Right? See it? Right? 150. 152.
Did you say one
Oh, it would start here. It would start
So
with,
lie between each number? So
between, yeah.
Right.
man, what?
Khamseen wa Mia.
Okay.
Say it now. Say how we read the number.
Man, so it's 2. It's like take a word number.
But see it now.
Yeah.
You say it like
23.
150. It's the last eye on the page. Just turn to the bottom. If you're on 23, the bottom of the page, you got 1, right? So one says 152. You should be on page 23.
Right here. It's the last two items. Mama, baby.
23, that's fine. That's why. And then
Right,
it says, Isnan, or Khamsin, wa Mia.
which is probably why they say it like that.
Isnan,
They say it the way you actually
wa
want it.
Khamsin. That's it. Yes. Okay. Everybody have it now?
It's major.
Everybody have it now? Okay, everybody have it?
Yeah.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulil kareem. Inshallah, we're going to spend a few moments with some of these ayat, starting from this particular ayat from Surah Baqarah. Okay? Again, what we try to do in the class is really just, mix up our things that we do. Based on, just based on experience, if we stay in a grammar book, all month, it's boring. Because you don't get the chance to really see. In other words, I think we should try to find ways to motivate ourselves to really want to go after this language. If you get the language, there's nothing, no barrier that we can't overcome in terms of whatever studies you want to take on. Once you get the language. If you don't have the language, it's impossible to do it. Okay, so this is why I like to try to do different things in the class. Although, grammatically, we try to fill in a lot of things, although we may not have officially studied it. Okay? But it don't stop us from, from looking at different things. And then when we do go over it as officially, whether, like if it's on your own, at least you have, you have some idea. Okay? We're not going to go into no real heavy explanation. We just want to point out some things and look at something, what Allah Ta'ala says with regards to these ayat, and then hopefully again take some benefit for our own lives.
Sure.
That's again, you read the Quran. If you don't benefit from it, then there's no need in reading it. If you're not going to let it, affect your life, and more importantly, it should affect our hearts. It should make us think differently. Okay, so. I know we said ayat 152, but we're going to just, so that ayat, we're going to go back up one where it says, Fadhkuruni. Okay, we see that? Everybody see where it starts with that ayat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, after, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Fadhkuruni adhkurkum, washkuruli wa la takfuruni. Okay? I really think, if we look at this here, it ain't too many things in this ayat that we don't understand. It's just maybe some grammatical things we may need to highlight. What's going on? Okay? I give you an example. Like everybody looking at me, is this man out of his mind? The first word, or fadhkuru, Allah says fadhkuru. Give you the word, the masdar, dhikr. Everybody know dhikr. Fadhkuru is fil amr. So you know what that means now.
Mm-hmm.
Translate it. Udhkuru.
Remember.
Need.
Remember me.
Remember, the noon is the protection. It's the yeah, which makes it say it's going back to the speaker, meaning Allah is speaking now. Mm-hmm. So Allah says, Fadhkuru, it's an imperative, but it's in the plural. Udhkuru ni. Right? The yeah, whenever you see the yeah on the end of the verb, it's like on a noun. It's personal now. But the noon has to come there. So when you see that, you always know it means me. Right?
You call that the noon of what?
Noon we call it.
Noon? Okay, yeah, because you gave us that.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
it's the noon of protection. It's so you know that's the end of the verb. Right? So it's not saying, it's the same as if we said kitabi. That yeah makes it personal. My book, qalami, kursiyi, abi, ummi, baiti, imami, salati, wa nusukati. Right? Sujudi, ruku'i, islami, dini. That yeah makes it personal. on a verb, we need in order to make it personal, you need the noon there to make it me. So it makes it say me. So in other words, because that yeah is the maf'ulun is equivalent to the maf'ulun bihi. Right? That's the object of the verb. So Allah says, fadhkuruni. Fadhkuruni. Fadh, why we say fadh? Because it has hamza to wasl. If we take the fa away, then we read what? Because you see the vowel for the ra, and you know how to read the hamza to wasl. Because there's only two ways to read imperative verb with hamza to wasl. With kasra or with dhamma. Right? Fadhkuruni. Right? I got that now, right?
So
Now, the fadh.
So it couldn't be written without that. Yeah, it couldn't be just a na with the kesra on it.
No, the noon is not for i'rab. It's just to let you know. It's the yeah that's the maf'ulun bihi.
Oh.
That's the pronoun. The noon is so you know. You don't say. There's no way to put that on the verb now. It's like I said. Take the analogy of kitab. A word kitab. The vowel on the ba is what? Kitab. It's dhamma. Once you put yeah there, how would you read it now? So how would you read it now? Kitabi. Why? Because yeah forces what to come out?
Kesra.
Exactly. Yeah and kesra, we say munasaba. They're compatible. They complement one another. So if you do that with a verb, if you say yadri, if you just put the yeah now, if we go back to the beginning in our Arabic lessons, we learned something about the verb. The verb doesn't take what? Of the three vowels or the fourth position of i'rab, it doesn't take kesra. So because of that, yeah is like the kesra. So it can't take, you can't say yadribi. You can't say that. It doesn't take kesra. So to get away from that, to get around that, the Arabs have this thing called noon. We call it, it's the noon of protection. It's that, you know, that's not the yeah, that's not the kesra for kesra. That's not the kesra like kesra like kitabi, kolamin, baitin. It's not the same.
It's like a separator.
Right, that's what said protection.
But it's still used for the same reason.
Right.
But it protects you from.
Right. You know that's not the same vowel like the kesra we write with, or that's why. You understand that? That's why on the verb it has to be there.
So it would be yet. How would you say
Yadrubu, yadrib, yadrubuni. Daraba, yadribu. Right? And so now you put the noon with yadrubuni.
Oh.
You see it now?
Yeah.
Right? If you didn't have the noon, then the ba turns into a kesra. And you can't do that in Arabic. The verb don't take kesra.
Or it'd be yadrubi, or it would be
right.
It would be right.
See?
Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, I understand.
Okay?
What's the name of it again? I might have lost it in my notes. This one. Noon of what?
Waqaya.
Waqaya.
Okay? Fadhkuruni. Right? Okay. Let's go to the next verb now. Kwame, read that. That next one. Azkurkum. Okay, everybody see it? Everybody see it?
Yep.
Fadhkuruni azkurkum. Hamza on this verb is the fa'il, meaning ana. Who's ana? Allah ismu jalal. What else do you notice about this verb in terms of i'rab? So what is that? We don't say sakun, but that's the exact where we want to go. What do we call that? What position is that?
No, not majzum.
Majzum. Majzum is majzum. And then you see the pronoun kum. The pronoun is your maf'ulun bihi. Kum meaning? Say what it means.
They.
No,
you.
You.
Yeah.
So Allah says, azkuru or azkur, based on the ayat, azkur, what does azkur mean? I will remember kum.
Remember me. Oh.
Right? I will remember you. So let's go back, because let's go back because we need to put it together so it makes sense. Right now, it may be in it, but it may be a little fuzzy. Fadhkuruni, we have that. Fadhkuruni, right? The imperative verb is majzoom. It's by default. Everybody understand, right? The verb, we have three tenses: past, madi, mudari, present, and imperative. The past and the imperative are mabni by default, meaning that they always stay the same. Fi'l mudari, on the other hand, that's the one that changes through i'rab. Sometimes it's marfu, sometimes it's mansub, and sometimes it's majzoom. Fi'l mudari. The imperative verb is mabni. It's always going to be mabni. It's either going to be mabni on sukoon or mabni by taking away something. That's how mabni is. Okay? For the imperative verb. Now we come to the next verb, azkur. Azkur is fil mudari. And the i'rab of it is what? It's majzoom. How is it majzoom? With sukoon. Be sukoon, because you clearly see the sukoon in. Now you see that, Kwame? That's what you said, right? It's majzoom bis sukoon.
So if you were just, if it didn't have a kum on it, it would just...
No, it had not. That has nothing to do with it. That's not what's making it majzoom.
Oh.
Look, the verb is dhakara. This is one of the reasons why we do that assignment. Dhakara. Right? What's the present tense for dhakara?
Yadhkuru. Yadhkuru.
Yadhkuru. Look, Kwame. Look. Right? Yadhkuru. Right? Right now, that's marfu. Right? So if we say, we have three options. We can say yadhkura. Right? Yadhkur. Those are the three options we have with fi'l mudari.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it doesn't take kasr.
Because it doesn't take kasr.
Right? Marfu, mansub, or majzoom. Right? Dhakara is on. We can only say that because it's not subject to i'rab, the past tense verb. The present tense verb is subject to i'rab. We just happen to be dealing with it with hamza of. Right? Azkuru. Right? So now azkura, which is in the ayat now.
Right.
Azkur, which is right.
Okay, so yeah.
Right? There you go. That's the question.
Yeah.
Whenever something, because for the fi'l mudari, it should be that. That's what you come out the gate with.
Right.
For it to be mansub or majzoom, you need to ask yourself why.
Okay.
You need to know why. Because if it's not a reason, in other words, if it's not something under normal circumstances, the verb is going to be marfu. Right? In order for it to become mansub or majzoom, there has to be, remember if we go back to the definition of i'rab, تغيير أواخر الكلمة للدخول الداخل عامل عليها. It's because when you have i'rab changes because you have different factors that's been used. There's a reason that it's going to become mansub or majzoom. Okay? So whenever you see something out of marfu, out of raf, ask yourself why. And then you learn that rule. That's the grammar rule.
Okay, what if I had mistaken that adhkur to be the imperative?
It's no way to mistake it.
Why not?
Tell me why. Tell me why you think so.
Well, I didn't say I did.
No. Let's assume
because it has a sukoon on the end of that particular part of it. It's sukoon. So I know. Okay. Imperative is mabni ala sukoon.
What's the hamza for?
Oh.
Right?
Because you have to take it away.
Look. If it was the imperative, it'd have been this here. Like it started in the beginning.
Okay.
Look, big difference between hamza to wasl and hamza to cut.
Okay, got it. Understood. True. Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to call it. Okay, that's how I know.
And even if you thought this was the fourth form, because the fourth form has Hamza in it,
Yeah.
the fourth form wouldn't be Dhamma, it would be Keshara.
Oh, okay.
It is
And then it,
Oh, no. Yeah, right.
then the vowel on the Hamza would have been Dhamma. I mean, there are other factors
okay.
that you have to play into,
All right.
right?
Yeah.
Fourth form is af'ala, right? Af'ala, and if you want to make the imperative af'il, right? It would have been Dhamma. If it had been Kesher, it would have been an imperative for fourth form. So fourth form is out of the way, and then it couldn't even be fourth form present tense because fourth form present tense begins with a Dhamma.
So there's nothing else it could be. Understood.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. Okay? All right? Okay? All right. So everybody understand that azkuru is fi'l mudari, it's the present tense verb, and it's marfu here. But in the ayat, right, it's majzoom. And then it says azkurkum. Kum, you. Plural, right? It's the plural for ka, ki, kuma, etc., right? You. I will remember you. Okay? But the question is, why is it majzoom? Okay? If you look before it, you have an imperative, we have an imperative verb. Allah says, فَاذْكُرُونِي. An imperative verb. I want you to understand what an imperative verb, the concept of an imperative verb in Arabic grammar. The basic meaning, or one of the intentions behind an imperative verb is that it's a condition. It's conditional. If you do this, you remember when we was kids on the block, we played this I dare you, step over the line stuff? You ain't been in the hood?
Yeah.
We don't even play. I know you did, right? You did that stuff, right? Put
close.
the stick up on it.
Knock
Right?
that off.
Right.
Yeah.
You're joking, don't really want to fight, right? Right?
Yeah,
Remember how you did that too?
Step across the line.
Really?
You know he did it. No, he from New York, so you know he did
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Shoulder.
Yeah, put it on the shoulder. I dare you to. No, I'm like, well, now what?
And then the line keep going
Yeah,
back.
All right? Okay. The imperative verb is a condition sometime. And it's and a condition needs a response. If you do something, then this is what's going to happen. So the imperative verb, the first part is the condition. What's the condition? Fadhkuruni. That's the condition.
Remember Allah.
Remember me, and now the response is Azkurkum. That's the response. That's the answer to the condition. If you do this, this is what's going to happen.
And that's imperative?
That's how the imperative verb, that's why the verb that comes after it is majzoom. It's imitating the i'rab, although the imperative verb is in subject to i'rab. I don't know if let me say that again.
Yeah, please. Let me type my
The imperative verb is a condition. If you do this, if you do something, in other words, look, if you go to bed early, what's the consequence? What's the result? What can happen?
Nothing.
That's the result. That's the answer. That's the response. If you eat too much, you get fat. I mean, what's the condition? The imperative verb is like a condition. If you do this, then there has to be a response. There has to be an answer to it.
Is that always?
This is
Because like if someone just says run, and you know.
No, not all. This is
in this particular.
In this how we understand these verses now.
Okay.
This is a condition. Allah is putting a condition on the people. If you remember me. Okay, now what? Allah then tells you the response. By you fulfilling that, this is what's going to happen. Azkurukum.
Okay.
Remember me. I will remember you.
And that's called the result. That's the result.
Right, the result. The jawab shart. It's like the imperative verb is like a condition. And the condition has to have a response or a remedy to it. Like if you do this, this is what's going to happen. It's always a two-part thing. Okay?
Did you say something about intentional?
I don't think so. Okay?
How come the strategy really doesn't have it as sukoon on it?
What's that?
The extent of it, right?
Which verb?
Joel.
Imperative, fat,
Because it's in the plural.
Oh,
Right? And if the noon wasn't in the yeah, it'd be an aleph on the end of it, right? Showing the plural.
You said Joab Ushart?
Yeah, Jawab Shaf, right. Right,
so that's imperative.
right. That's in the plural format. Right?
I can't even write English anymore.
Okay? And so that's the response. Okay, right? Everybody okay? And then Allah says, finishing this ayat,
Response.
okay? Washkuru, washkuru, li, washkuru, li. Washkuru is fil amr also. Right? We already know the wow. Wow is a conjunction. It's as if Allah said, Fashkuruli. Because right, this is going back to the first one. Fashkuruni is as if Allah says, Fashkuruli.
So how come this is not taking the NAV protection?
Because look at the verb. Look at the verb. That's a good question. Look at your verb. Everybody understand what he said? Asked?
No.
He said, why that on Washkur? Why is it not taking the noon of protection? Okay, let's look at the verb. The one verb is dhakara. Dhakara versus shakara. Right? Shakara. On dhakara and shakara, right? And using the two imperative verbs, uzkur, right? And ushkur. Right? And we all know shakara, right? His question is, why is it in the ayat, why doesn't it have the noon of protection? Which is a good question. Okay? We need to understand the types of verbs we're dealing with now. In Arabic, the verb, like in English, when the verb can go directly to your maf'ulun bihi, that's one kind of